Hey guys, Jake here, gonna talk to you about how I became 385 light on the first day of the Rise of Iron release. I would like to point out a few things before I get into this video. I did not and do not have a big secret, so if you're looking for some like crazy thing you did not know about, this probably isn't the right video for you. I'm also not really trying to show off that I did anything quick and awesome and I'm better than you or anything of that nature. This is more an informative video. If you're curious how I got there, I'm going to kind of lay it out for you in as much detail as I think is necessary, but also try not to let it be too drawn out. That is the goal. However, I did just finish a 24-hour stream. That is literally what I just did, and now I'm coming to you with this video. So if I seem tired, if I seem a little all over the place, my apologies. I'll do my best not to. Anyway, let's go straight into the video. Now, the first two things I want to point out to you guys, one of which you may have just kind of figured out that I had the advantage of and that you guys will not, unfortunately, or some of you will not, is I did a 24-hour stream, which means that as soon as Rise of Iron launched, I played for 24 straight hours. That is a luxury that many people didn't have and don't have, and therefore were not able to achieve the light that I achieved. The second thing, my job is to do trials carries. I earn a ton of armor materials, weapon parts, strange coins, motes of light, exotic engrams from my 3 coins. Those just happen naturally every weekend as I stream trials carries. So all of those materials and all of the time I had put me at a level that you, the average Destiny player, was not going to be able to be at. And because of that, 385 light is not attainable on day one for most people. But I was able to get there, and I'm going to tell you how I got there. So, first things first, you jump in at 335 light. And I kind of just went through the quests, went through the story mode, didn't do anything special at all for a long time. Just went through everything the way you would normally go through it. Did the quest, did the story, did the patrols and all that stuff. Kind of naturally worked my way up to about 345, 346 light, which is when I did a little bit of something different. At 346 light, I believe was actually the number, started doing strikes. And I believe strikes are the best way for you guys to get higher light. Keep in mind, this is coming 24 hours after the Rise of Iron launched. Well, you might be watching this video in October, November, December and being like, but there's all this extra information he hasn't noted. What is wrong with him? This is only 24 hours after. I'm giving you everything I know at the time, okay? You might know more than me watching it, but this is the best I can do. Strikes are incredible. This week, the first week, it is an arc damage strike, which means that you can put on the Zalo. You can have all 3 weapons do arc damage, and you can plow through it. Of course, you might die a few times, especially at lower lights like 346, but your teammates are there to revive you. And you get a lot of weapons. You can farm 3 coins, so exotic engrams doing this. You get a bunch of blues that actually ends up helping you. Blues will drop all the way up to 365. So between 346 and 365, that is the area that you should be grinding strikes. More specifically, and this is only for those that really want to get into how to do this quick, you can farm the Omnigul strike, which means that the room right before the final encounter on the Omnigul strike, you and your 2 buddies could actually continuously kill Omnigul, getting her to drop 2 or 3 blues, which can help you increase light. Then go and kill yourselves in the strike, obviously, which allows you to respawn and do it once again. In order to do this, you're going to want at least 1 tether, a lot of coordination. There's a lot of different strategies for farming Omnigul here, but doing so allows you to level up pretty quickly. And that's how I got from 358 to 364 in a matter of about an hour. But otherwise, I'm going to talk now how to get from that precious state of 364, 365 up into the 385 area. So once you get your light right around 364, this is when having engrams, materials, and all these things that I have saved up become a huge benefit to getting your light to increase. 365 is kind of the cap. And what I mean by that is you can get to 365, as I just noted, by grinding strikes, which I recommend highly. But after 365, you're not really able to get anywhere without doing end game content, end game related stuff. By that, I mean doing the Nightfall, doing the Crucible Weekly Bounty, stuff of that nature. However, if you've got engrams, if you got materials, you can actually get packages and turn in your engrams to become higher light than 365. My strategy for doing this is to do it incrementally. And what I mean by this, sorry that my knee's up, I look like a hobo, but I'm tired. Bear with me. What I mean by that is that you kind of pay attention to whatever your lowest light is. For example, let's say I'm 367, okay? Turned in a few packages, I'm 367. I notice that my boots are 364. Everything else is above it. Turn in a boot engram, or focus specifically when you're leveling up your faction to turn in armor. You want to get whatever's lowest higher. You're always focusing on your lowest thing. If you leave something behind, then that's going to really be really detrimental. It's going to be hard to keep raising up everything above it if you have boots sitting way below it, for example. So always focus on your lowest thing. Artifacts, ghosts, and kind of cloaks, but mostly artifacts. Artifacts are terrible. God, I'll get into this in a second. Those can be a little bit worse. So if your artifact's like 4 light below it, don't worry too much. But in general, the 7 things that can become engrams, the helmet, gauntlets, chest piece, boots, primary, special, and heavy. If those fall behind, you need to make sure to catch them up. You want them all to be around the same light level as you're turning in engrams and turning in packages. Now, if you're struggling to get, and this is my knowledge after 24 hours, if you're struggling to get an artifact, here's the only way that I can really tell you how to get good artifacts in Rise of Iron, and it's not fun. I'm warning you now, it's not fun. You need friends or yourself to have a lot of antiquated runes and ways of farming XP with Eris. Yes, I'm talking Eris, the Crota woman. Yeah, not very fun. We went into Court of Oryx and we farmed the hell out of the antiquated runes. And no, you don't get drops that are higher than 335 from those themselves. In fact, when you rank up Eris and you turn in the package with Eris, that is when you get a drop that can be or up to 385. And they're usually artifacts. About 75% of the time, those will drop artifacts. So when you're in need of an artifact, it's time to grind Eris, unfortunately. Otherwise, you can get artifacts randomly out of engrams, but that's random. That's RNG. You have no way of determining whether or not you're going to get that. If you need an artifact, you need to farm Eris, and it sucks. I'm sorry. Now for your ghosts and your cloaks, or your class item, whatever it may be, if you're noticing that those are falling behind a little bit, they're easier to get than the artifact. Crucible packages can help you, Vanguard packages can help you, but more importantly and easier to do, the faction packages can help you. Turn in motes of light, do whatever you can to make sure you find a higher light ghost or cloak or class item, whatever it is, if they're falling behind. Other than that, there's about 3 little tips and or secrets I can give you. Believe it or not, Petra at the Reef actually can drop stuff up to 385 light. So if you're a year 1 player and you've got etheric light to turn in, if you've done that Taken King quest that allows you to get bounties from her, do those bounties, turn in those packages, get some higher light stuff. Save them until you're 365, because you can keep getting light when you're lower than 365 from simple things like strikes. But once you hit 365, it's hard to get past that. So save these next few things that I'm going to tell you for when you're 365 light. Petra, turn that stuff in. People don't know about this very much at this point in time, 24 hours after the launch. But you should definitely turn some things in with Petra and get some higher light. Another thing you can do is the Crucible bounty, like I just stated. Don't turn it in. The weekly bounty, don't turn it in until you're past 365 light. Once you hit that stopping point where you don't know how to get further, then turn it in. It will boost you up a little bit. That goes for the Nightfall as well. You know, a lot of people want to do the Nightfall as soon as they possibly can, but it makes more sense to do it when you can't go any further. You're 375 or something and you're stuck. Do the Nightfall. You might be able to get to 376. Well, that's it, guys. Hopefully I was able to keep that somewhat concise and somewhat understandable. I did just do a 24-hour stream on Twitch. That is my home, Twitch. I have the link in the description. Please give me a follow there if you'd like. It would really mean a lot to me. I do 40 plus hours every single weekend doing trials carries, and that's why I had so many materials. But anyway, I hope I could be of some assistance. I hope I could help you guys at least a little bit. If you've got any questions, feel free to leave comments on this video. I will do my best to answer as quick as possible, but I am going to go sleep for quite a while after this. I need it. Anyway, like I said, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped you. Leave some comments in the description, or leave some comments on this video. I'll try to answer. I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you enjoy Rise of Iron. Look forward to the raid. I know I will be. And have an awesome day.